Beautiful Losers is Leonard Cohen's second and final novel, published in 1966. Cohen initially pursued a career in writing, penning 2 novels, before embarking on his music journey. This novel is a notable example of early Canadian postmodern literature, even though it faced both critical and commercial disappointment upon its release. Its reputation later grew as Cohen's music career flourished. The novel employs a maximalist approach, incorporating various literary techniques and delving into a wide range of themes, including the counterculture of the 1960s, mysticism, and sexuality. Its narrative style is characterized by a stream of consciousness, nonlinear structure, and a deliberate lack of a clear timeline. The story centers on a complex love triangle involving 3 characters and is divided into 3 books. In Book 1, titled The History of Them All, the narrative is presented through the eyes of an unnamed white, male, English-speaking folklorist and scholar, often referred to as I becomes deeply fixated on a 17th-century Mohawk woman named Catherine Tekakwitha, who underwent a profound struggle between her physical and spiritual selves. This obsession becomes a common thread linking the 3 narrators as they grapple with their fascination with Catherine. The story interweaves the history of her tribe with the lives of the 3 lovers. I is simultaneously studying a First Nations tribe, of which very few members remain. His wife, Edith, is the last surviving member of this tribe. During I.'s narration, he grapples with profound loss as his wife dies in a mysterious elevator accident, possibly a suicide. Additionally, he discovers that Edith had a long-standing romantic relationship with his male lover. F.I. falls into a deep depression, neglecting his physical and emotional well-being. I.'s narrative includes descriptions of his severe depression, physical ailments, agoraphobia, and self-destructive behaviors. F., the voice of Book 2, encourages I. to join a nationalist Quebecois movement and recalls a plan to vandalize a statue during Queen Elizabeth II's visit to Canada. I. eventually leaves his apartment to immerse himself in the study of Catherine Tekakwitha in a treehouse, further spiraling into depression. Book 2, titled A Long Letter, continues the narrative through a letter written by F. from an asylum, where he explains his actions, fills in gaps in the story, and attempts to guide I. toward the sexual and spiritual liberation characterizing the culture of the 1960s. F. appears controlling and manipulative, but he views himself as a spiritual explorer unlocking secrets of the body and spirit. He seeks a transcendent spiritual experience, combining sex with religious objects and rituals, often involving Edith. The novel explores the possibility of achieving this spiritual transcendence through sexual means, ultimately culminating in a baptism ritual that nearly achieves this transcendence. F. also delves into Catherine Tekakwitha's story, describing her death and a miraculous event where her skin turns luminous, offering commentary on racism and religious preoccupation with whiteness. Book 3, titled An Epilogue in the Third Person, checks in with F. in his old age, revealing disturbing actions. F. is now a pedophile and child molester, with an encounter involving a young boy who seeks stories about ancient tribes. The novel takes a surreal turn as F. is picked up by a woman while hitchhiking, leading to a peculiar sexual encounter. The narrative concludes with F. seemingly transforming into a theater screen, avoiding arrest by the police. The story ends with an ambiguous conclusion and an appeal to view Catherine Tekakwitha as a spiritual and political figure. Throughout Beautiful Losers, the novel equates sex with spiritual transcendence within the context of 1960s Canada's social, cultural, and political upheaval. The inclusion of Catherine Tekakwitha allows for exploration of spiritual and corporeal themes, touching on religion, race, politics, and sexual freedom. Cohen's portrayal of race in the novel is layered, depicting both First Nations people and French Canadians as oppressed groups, while highlighting the complicity of French Canadians in the oppression. I. represents empathy for the oppressed, while F. seeks to assertively overcome his status through political actions.